thanks for watching the video. If you could do me and the channel a favor, hop down to the comment section and let me know what decks you guys want me to make next. And while you're down there, if you could drop a like and subscribe, it'd help out a lot. With that being said, enjoy the video and have a great day. Buddy, welcome back. Today we are going over a Cinderace EX deck list here. I've played plenty of games with this deck because not only did I do the playtesting, but I also made the video, and that file just decided to go away. So here we are again, and I really like this list. It played very well, yeah, I'm really glad I could get to share this with you. So let's just hop right into it. For starters, our main attacker is going to be that Cinderace EX. It has 320 HP, and we bounce back and forth between Flare Strike and Garnet Volley. Most of the time I found Garnet Volley is pretty useful though, and we can use it as kind of a tech card almost, and you'll see some of that later, hopefully. Hopefully I can get a playtest here that can exemplify that very well. Anyway, for 1 fire and 2 colorless, Flare Strike deals 280, but you can't use Flare Strike on your next turn. And then Garnet Volley for a fire, a fighting, and a darkness deals 180 snipe. And then it also has Free Retreat, which is just a little cherry on top. And we got 3 Scorbunnies, 2 Raboots, and then 2 Cinderace working into that here. We also got the 2-1-2 line of Pidgeot EX, so we can use that for its Quick Search, as well as Free Retreat. Most of the stuff in this deck, we're not going to worry about the retreat cost. Our attacker's Free Retreat, Mew's Free Retreat, Pidgeot's Free. So, I mean, retreating is not ever going to be a big deal, hopefully. It's really hard for us to get trapped with this deck. The only thing they can really pull up is a Squawk, or maybe if they're at 1 prize card, they can pull up a Duskull, something like that. Anyway, Quick Search, super powerful. We absolutely love this, especially in these Stage 2 decks. You see it a lot in Charizard, is where most people's minds go. And just a super powerful tech card. We also got 1 copy of Mew. Just give us that little bit of extra draw power, as well as Free Retreat. And it's also just going to help us from getting those mulligans. You know, it's another basic that we have in the deck. And then we got a 2-1-1 line of Dusknoir. So Curse Blast, you know, on the Dusclops or Dusknoir, you're either doing 13 or 5 damage counters, knocking yourself out. Super powerful pairing with these other cards, especially Cinderace itself, because 280 is pretty nice. It reaches up there, and we got some other damage modifiers in the deck, just to make sure it's reaching those higher knockouts. But Garnet Volley only does 180, so adding that little extra from the Dusclops and Dusknoir can definitely add up and make it so you can take some huge knockouts on your opponent. And then we got 1 copy of Squawkabilly EX. A lot of time you might not even use Squawkabilly, just depending on what your first hand is. I mean, obviously that's with any situation, but I found it as kind of like a 50-50 of when you want to use Squawk versus you get a good enough hand that you can play a couple of turns with. So definitely an interesting inclusion in here that's might not be totally necessary, but I like having it just as that extra backup, seeing as we are playing so many Stage 2s, we want to have a strong turn 1. And that's it for Pokemon, so we're going to move on to the trainers here. So we got the 1 copy of Counter Catcher. Obviously, we can force ourselves behind in prize cards with that Duskull tech. And being able to trap one of our opponent's Pokemon in the act can be super powerful, because then we can just chain together Garnet Volleys and snipe out their bench. So really nice to have in here. I do play 1 copy of Cyrano to search my deck for 3 Pokemon EX. This is just so we can make sure we get Cinderace out, as well as Pidgeot EX. Having all that stuff going is super important, and if we're under Buddy, we're not going to be able to use any Ultra Balls, so having the high supporter count in this deck I really like personally. And then one of our damage modifiers that I was telling about is Black Belt's Training. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. So obviously 280 it's a good number, but it's missing knockouts on the 2 most popular decks, which are Dragapult and Charizard, so 320 and 330. Now, Black Belt's Training is going to get us to 320, so we're hitting Dragapult, but Charizard, we need that 10 more, and there's that Vitality Band hidden in here that we'll probably brief back over because I'll forget about talking about it right now. So we got the damage modifiers in here, or depending on our matchup. Really nice to have that here. 1 copy of Night Stretcher. There's not a ton of recovery in this deck, and so the Night Stretcher can be either discarded just because you're in that point of the game, or it can be super important in case you say have to squawk away a say you have to squawk away a Cinderace, and you say, you know, that one's prized, but the rest of your hand is dead. You know, just having a little bit of recovery is always nice, so we do play a little bit in this deck. 2 copies of Nest Ball. This is because we have those Buddy-Buddy Poffins to get set up, but obviously our Squawk and our Mew cannot be found with Nest Ball because they don't have 70 HP or less. So we're just searching those things out when we need them. And then 1 copy of Boss's Orders, all, like I said, super strong to be able to gust our opponent and then just Garnet Volley. I was tinkering around, and we could definitely make this deck with Gravity Gemstone. Here, I'll pull that up here. Gravity Gemstone, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot. Retreat cost is 1 more to try and trap our opponent further. So, and that's a tech that I've been debating and just focus on that Garnet Volley. But I figured most of the time it's going to be tool spot is going to be taken up by our A-Spec. But that's definitely an option that we can go for this deck. Anyway, moving on with what we do have built. We do have 2 copies of Iono, great hand reset, as well as hand disruption for our opponent. Once we have a Pidgeot set up, more times than not, we don't care what's in our hand because we can just grab what we need. Sometimes you do need multiple cards to piece together a certain sequencing or strong attack or whatever. But a lot of the time, once we have that Pidgeot established, we can just grab what we need, and what the cards in our hand are really just a convenience at that point, I feel like. So the 2 copies of Iono are really nice, and we're not afraid of Ionoing ourselves with this deck for sure. And Arven, we have 3 copies of them, searching for an item and a tool card, very powerful. 2 copies of Technical Machine Evolution. Obviously, if we go second, this could definitely be useful. Since our Cinderace does he's a little costly to get those attacks going. More times than not, that TM Evo might just get overlooked, or we might look to go first with this deck. I've been bouncing about on the idea, and I feel like it can go either because of the inclusion of this TM Evo. So it's definitely a possibility that we get this TM Evo off, and sometimes we just won't bother with it. Very situational, and it's not like I've seen some Gardevoir decks that you go Trolley, Evolution, and that's your first turn. But that's not really necessary with this deck, so I like the flexibility we have here. And then that other little piece of recovery is going to be that 1 copy of Super Rod, and that's going to be all the recovery in that deck. That 1 Night Stretcher and the 1 Super Rod. This is a pretty comfortable amount of recovery, I feel like. You might consider throwing a PAL pad in here, but it's not super necessary. I'm happy with where this recovery at. We don't have any attacks that say, oh, you have to discard cards from this to discard energy to attack. Nothing like that, so recovery is not super important. And then we got 1 copy of Briar. Since our main attacker is going to be a Terra Pokemon, obviously 1 copy of Briar would not hurt, as well as our ability to use those Dusknoirs. We can make sure our opponent is at 2 prize cards exactly. So a nice inclusion here. More times than not, it's not going to get used, but when it is used, it's going to be huge. And then obviously 4 copies of Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That'll find everything that we need except for our Mew and our Squawk. That's going to find Pidgeys, that's going to find Scorbunnies, and it's going to find Duskulls. So that's what our setup is looking like most of the time. It's just Buddy-Buddy Poffins. 2 copies of Earthen Vessel. Since we do have 3 different types of energy, searching for select energy is going to be very important. And Earthen Vessel just finds it for us. With Crispin is also going to help us do that. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards of different types. Put 1 into your hand and 1 onto one of your Pokemon. So great energy acceleration. Crispin plus our A-Spec, Sparkling Crystal, is going to make it so that we can go from 0 energy to attacking with Cinderace in 1 turn. Now, that is asking a lot. That's quite a cost. You got to have all the cards in hand, basically, to pull that off, but it's definitely possible. And yeah, it just highlights how this deck can work. And more times than not, I haven't been able to pull off that combo yet. I don't even think I've played a Crispin. Just a couple of my playtests I've used them. But you do get behind with this deck, and then it's kind of a comeback in the end. So moving on, we get 3 copies of Ultra Ball, finding our evolution Pokemon primarily that we can rare candy into if we're not at that Cyrano. The 3 Ultra Ball, 1 Cyrano, I felt was a pretty good balance of Pokemon search, other than our basics, obviously, which are covered by the 2 Nest Balls and the Buddy Poffins. So 3 Ultra Balls was a pretty comfortable number in here for me. And then 1 copy of Professor's Research, just a great hand reset. You know, you should have 1 in every deck for those just-in-case scenarios. Really nice card to have in here. Then that Vitality Band, I didn't forget, but I am going to go over it anyway again. This paired with our black belt's training is going to make it so our flare strike, our flare strike is able to hit that 330 and take out that super common Charizard. So that little combo is going to be super nice. And then 4 copies of Rare Candy. There's plenty of Stage 2s in this deck. Our Cinderace obviously is a Stage 2 himself. Pidgeot, that's a Stage 2. And then we got the 1 copy of Dusknoir. So Stage 2s are very prominent in this deck, and so those 4 Rare Candies are essential. And then as for energy, we do have 2 fire, 3 dark, and 2 fighting. Now it doesn't really matter which one has 2 and which one has 3. They're all going to the same purpose. But I just went with this because why not? You know, you could do 3 fighting and 2 dark, 2 fire, or whatever. It's 7 energy. And yeah, I think it works fine. I really enjoy this list, and I hope you guys do as well. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the playtest here. Into that playtest here. Now, before I accidentally... Okay, up in Shaman Lee. I accidentally did the deck list recording with the playtest recording, and that, like, it didn't end well, because obviously that file decided to just walk off on its own. So I did have to record it all over again, but that's okay, because here we are. We're getting this deck list out to you guys today. We're not missing our appointment here. Your opponent will go first, so we might get that TM Evo play off. We do mulligan here, which honestly, that's fine. It wasn't a very good hand. The 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffins would have been nice. And our opponent... Oh wait, no, that's our hand. Hydrapple, okay. Very interesting. We are going to hit Hydrapple for weakness, so that's pretty nice. We don't need our damage modifiers, but even if we did need our damage modifiers, we're going to be fine regardless, because we would have been able to hit it, but we don't have to now. We can just take knockouts. Yeah. And I think if we throw a Vitality, what is it? Yeah. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay. Sorry, wandering off on my own, mentally speaking. We're going to go that route. Do we Iono is the question. I think we do. Right? Because we don't have Rare Candy or anything. Yeah, we don't have much that's helping us here. We're going to go ahead and Iono. I didn't want to Ultra Ball for a Squawk there because we had one of those Cinderace. Okay, now we don't have energy. Well, we didn't have energy at any point. Getting rid of 2 Crispins, Candy, TM Evo. I mean, we could go for Squawk. Sure, why not? We have a Pidgey down, so we're going to be able to do some searching. Let's go for the Squawk. Probably should have checked to see if it was prized. Thankfully, it's not. See what we can get going here on this first turn. We are losing those Crispins, which isn't fun. Okay, that's a hand. That is definitely a hand. And we're just going to leave Mew in the active. I'm not too concerned with the Donk. I don't think they're going to be getting it. But yeah, we can definitely do something here. I'm trying to debate what the sequencing would be. We only got the 1 Rare Candy. Should we go into the Cinderace? Okay, so this is going to be I didn't even notice the Grookey's at first. It is Festival Lead Hydrapple, which is actually another deck that me and my buddy have been kind of building. Hey, Radiant Venusaur is there. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that card used before. Or are they just going to find a friend? Yep. Okay. So I would love to get something here. If we could Dusclops away their apples. Do we want to get an attack? And if so, I mean, they got all 4 Grookey out. We're not going to be taking those out anytime soon. I think getting rid of their Applins would be our best bet. We could get there another candy. I don't even think we can attack this turn, actually. No, because we would need to get Crispin or... Okay, so yeah, we're not going to be attacking this turn, so we're just going to go into the Pidgeot here. Which hopefully we don't have 2 candies prized. We're going to take a look here in a sec. Okay, so we got the Duskull tech, obviously, is all sitting there. We do have... Oh, no, both candies are there. We can grab our Sparkling Crystal. I don't think I'm going to grab Crystal yet. I might grab Arven for next turn. I think that'll be the play. Yeah. I think so. Because we got our energy attachment. And if they can get the attack off, if they can boss the Scorbunny, they're getting knockout anyway. Oh, wait, we didn't use a supporter yet this turn. That's right, okay. So then this will be rare candy. Okay, okay. I was overthinking it. I don't know why I thought we didn't have knockout. We definitely do. There we go. And then we're just going to go... Actually, we are going to Garnet Volley because that'll leave our Flare Strike available. I don't think it matters. We're going to be switching between them throughout the course of the game regardless. There's Cyrano. Not really going to help us at this point. So they do obviously get Applin. The question then is, what does their Thwacky situation look like? Okay, they put a... We do like having those 2 prizers in play. That's going to be nice for us. Yep, they get the Festival Grounds. So they can deal 200 damage with Do the Wave because it deals 20 for each of their benched. And then they can obviously attack twice from Festival Grounds. I keep saying obviously, but I'm sure not everyone has played Youngster. Who plays Youngster? I mean, I guess whatever floats your boat. This is probably finding him a Thwacky. Yep. They're just gonna Thwacky and boom boom for more Thwackies. I mean, I kind of like Festival Grounds. That's why, yeah, I think they're just gonna get all their Thwackies established here. But that's okay because we're gonna be able to take out their Diplin here. And then they won't have a Festival lead Pokemon in their active spot. So that it'll come down to whether or not they play the Festival lead Goldeen. A lot of these Festival leads that do play that as a basic with the Festival Grounds ability. That way, in this situation, they'll be able to use Thwacky on the following turn. They put an energy on that one. Okay. Let's see what they're grabbing here. Oh, I suppose we don't see. It's effectively 4 quick searches from a stage 1. The only thing about that, though, is that you need that Festival lead in play. Or in ground. There. Oh my goodness. That Festival lead Pokemon in the active spot. So we have 120 health here. We have Knockout, obviously. I think we want to start looking to set up another Raboot. Because I'm not sure what they have in this deck. What they're going to be able to pull out. We're going to go through the manner of a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That way we can just thin the deck a little more. Because we're not going to use Buddy Poffins at any point in this game. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I was trying to think of a world that we can take 2 prizes off of this Teal Mask here. But we would rather get their Festival lead out of play. Drop an energy in there. We will Cyrano to thin out that... I think it's just 1 Pidgeot, yeah. because otherwise we wouldn't be playing a supporter for turn, and there's no sense in not. I'm gonna go for the Garnet Volley again. This is so we have that Flare Strike available if they do put their Teal Mask up, even though I think we would still hit it for weakness if it was in the active spot, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So yeah, this deck specifically, we are going to be hitting them for weakness the whole time. It's just going to be a matter of maintaining Cinderace in play. Again, another youngster. I gotta say, I like my list of Hydrapple Festival Grounds much more than theirs. Yeah, so they have Knockout there. Always promote the float, whatever as free retreat. Boss's orders. Okay, so can we even attack with... Can we attack this turn? We need Crispin. And we need Rare Candy. We need both of those things, so I don't think we can. Especially because 2 Crispins are in the discard pile. Yeah, so we got 1 Crispin there, which we would need, and we got the Rare Candy. I think we're going to grab the Rare Candy. We're going to prioritize that for sure, because we don't need this getting boss KO'd, and then we're going to be stuck without an attacker. I think we're grabbing an energy here, so we get the attachment. We have a darkness attached already, so we'll go there. Then we could Super Rod for nothing, right? Or maybe it's the 1 energy. Or do we get it all back? I don't even know what would be correct here. I think we get it all back just in case. That might have been wrong. And then we can restart, hopefully for 1 off Crispin. Just show me the... Nope. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Do I want to Ultra Ball? Actually, no. I think I'm just going to boss up a Thwackey for stall here. I was debating going for Ultra Ball, Dusclops, take out the Applin. But that'd be a really big commitment. I suppose we would have been able to quick search for Professor's Research, but that would have just been solely to prevent them from getting a Festival lead Pokemon in the active spot. I don't know, if they have a switch card, then we should have done that, probably. This is one downside of Thwackey, is 2 retreat costs, but it's a super powerful ability, especially on a single prizer, so it kind of evens out. I'm almost hoping that they go into Hydrapple, because then they won't have the Boom Boom Groove, and it'll be a 2 prizer that we can actually take care of, try and accelerate the speed of this game. There's another deck I saw earlier that I was hoping I could make for a video, but I don't even remember what it was. Whatever they boss is fine. If they take Knockout on Squawk, that's kind of annoying. But if they're just doing this to stall, I mean, we can look for Crispin off the Pidgeot. Yeah, I mean, they just go for the stall. We'll get Crispin here for sure. We can get things moving now. We just need one of them to be fire. So that's fine. Energy into your hand. There. Attach that there. Then we attach return. I don't think there's a world that we motivate. Oh, we can't. We don't have any energy in the discard. So yeah, we just go for that. Go there. I think we are going to use the Ultra Ball here for a Dusclops. Yes, maybe. Yeah, for Dusclops. Because if we find a counter catcher, that's still in the deck, right? We haven't used that. Yeah. Hopefully we find counter catcher off this restart. Nope. Okay, that's fine. Thin touch more. Grab another Scorbunny. So, what are we going to do? I think we're taking out... Is it Ogerpon here? Because they can attach retreat, and then they have a bunch of Thwackies. But if they attach retreat, they can't attach for attack. So I think that is the play. I think we are taking out Teal Mask here for 2 prizes. Oh my gosh, it's a Terra Pokemon. I don't think we can. What's the wording on that? As long as this Pokemon is on... What is... I don't like that I can't, like, inspect the card without this giant text in the way. The giant 120. Oh, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon. So I don't think we actually can Garnet Volley. That's a pretty big misplay. So we are just going to take out Dipplin here. That's a mistake on my part. I forgot about the Terra typing. But it shouldn't hurt us too bad. I say and then lose the game. Yeah, hopefully giving them that 1 prize is not the end of the world. I really hope that doesn't make a difference. I don't even know. You're 30 more, right? 30 for each? Yeah, so at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Plus, so 27 right now. 270 damage. So they need 2 more energy attached to this Ogerpon. I don't think they have it this turn. So we do have to take care of it. But we're out boss, right? Yeah, we're out boss. Okay. Looks like they're just going to retreat and smack us. Okay, so we got 50 health right now. 50 health in a dream. There's no sense putting Dusclops in play, because they're just going to... I mean, that 1 more prize card is going to put them 50 damage away from game. Thwacky does deal 50 damage. Is there... No, there's not. Okay. I was wondering if there's a world that we win this turn. Which, if we still had our Duskull in play and we didn't foolishly use it this last turn, then we would. But we don't. So we obviously get knockout on this Teal Mask. What is our energy looking like? Well, what's all of it looking like? We might just grab Cinderace, but we want a supporter. And the supporter of choice is looking like Professor's Research. I think we just research here. We only have 1... Oh, okay, so we got a touch of energy prized. We have 2 energy in the prize cards. I think we just research. Get prepared for future turns. Okay. Nest Ball here. For the 1. Yep. Because that way we can at least get an attachment to this Raboot. Or are we going to look to Blistering Wind? Because we have the 2 energy in the prize cards, so we need to draw them both in order to attack with Cinderace. So I think we're going to charge up our Pidgeot here. Because Blistering Wind takes out just about all their stuff as well. Hopefully that's not a huge mistake. For bench Pokemon. So it's still... Oh, well, it gets knocked out regardless. We're going to use Garnet Volley. Obviously, we're still saving that Flare Strike for if and when we need it, which I don't think we will, because they didn't bench a Applin to go into Hydrapple. So, since we did draw, obviously the 1 energy we had to, there was 2 in the prize cards, and we were taking 2. We do just get to go Blustery Wind. The only thing they can do here is promote Radiant Venusaur, because that'll have too much health for us to knock out. But we'll see how it goes. That'll put them at a 3 retreat cost and give us plenty of time to recover. I think, right? So we got 1 energy and discard. We're outshoot both our recovery options, right? Yeah. So I think they just beat for knockout, and then we go into Pidgeot for game. So a little closer than I would have liked, but it's fine. We take the win in the end. So not the most riveting game of all, but I do apologize. I'm sure, discard the saving, why not? I was very exhausted after the whole incident of the recording going out, so I do thank you for being patient, watching this video, and I hope you guys like this deck list. I mean, it just kind of works. It just does. It's obviously not going to be, winning you any regionals, just because of the nature of Cinderace being so expensive to use. But yeah, I mean, there you go. That's the list. It does well. Go ahead and give it a try. Comment down below what kind of decks you guys want me to make next. And while you're down there, why don't you like and subscribe. Right now, my analytics say we have almost 800 returning viewers, which is awesome. But still just a touch over 100 subscribers, which I am very grateful for. But let's see if we can get those numbers up, guys. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.